Hi guys, in this video we're going to talk about simple versus compound interest in bank investments. Banks pay customers interest to look after their money. When you invest your money in a bank, you have many investment options that you can choose from. Let's take a look at the main terms that you need to know in banking. The starting amount of money is usually called the principal, and it's donated by the letter T. The final balance is donated by the letter A. The interest rate is donated by R, and the number of times the money is compounded is donated by the letter N. So in banking, we have different investment account options. We have accounts with simple interests and accounts with compound interest. Now, simple interest is when the interest is calculated once per year and the interest does not become part of the principal after the first year. The equation that is used to find the final amount of money is A, the final amount or balance equals P, the principal, times 1 plus the interest rate times in years. Now, the compound interest is when the interest is calculated once per period, and we're going to talk about periods later. And the interest itself becomes part of the principal after the first period. And the equation that is used to find the final balance is equal to P, the principal, times 1 plus the interest rate divided by N, which is a number depends on the period, raised to N times T, which is time in years. So the periods. When the money is compounded yearly, that's when N is equal to 1 because we have one per period or N equals 1. And sometimes the money is compounded monthly. That's the period per month. And the N in this case is 12 because we have 12 months in a year. The period sometimes can be daily, which means every single day. So in this case, N is equal to 365 because we have 365 days per year. The period can be quarterly, which means that N equals to 4 because we have 4 quarters in a year. Or it can be weekly. And in this case, N is going to be equal to 52 because we have 52 weeks in a year. Let's take a look at this question. We have $3,000 invested for 1 year at a rate of 5% simple interest. What is the total amount after 1 year? So let's put the information that we have in this question on the side. P, which is the principal, is equal in this case to $3,000. That's the beginning balance. Now, we have simple interest, and the rate for the simple interest is 5%, which is 0.05. That's 5 divided by 100. And then T, which is the number of years that we're going to invest the money for, which is in this case 1 year. So since we have simple interest, we're going to use the equation A equals P times 1 plus RT. So A is the final balance, and P in this case is $3,000 times 1 plus 0.05 times 1 year. So in this case, the final answer after I enter all these numbers in the calculator is $3,150. So the final balance is $3,150. Let's take a look at this example now. Garcia borrowed $4,000 from his cousin Susan at a rate of 8% compounded weekly. What is the total amount of money after 2 years? Again, we have a lot of information here that I need to list before I use the formula. So the principal that I have, or the beginning balance, is $4,000. I know that the money is compounded weekly. That means N is equal to 52 weeks. The rate, which is the interest, is going to be 8 divided by 100, which is 0.08. And T, the number of years for which I am investing this money, is 2 years. So now, since the money is compounded weekly, I'm going to have to use the equation or the formula A equals P times 1 plus R over N raised to N times T. So A in this case is the final balance, which I need is equal to $4,000 times 1 plus 0.08 divided by 52 raised to 52 times 2. And after I plug in all these numbers in the calculators, just the way I see them, I'm going to end up with $4,693.47. And that's the final balance.